Hello, my amazing viewers, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you enjoyed our last discussion on the fundamentals of linked lists. And with that, I hope you have a basic understanding of what a linked list is. We know that a linked list is made up of nodes. They are basically connected nodes together, and it has a head. And what does a node have? A node can have a data. Data can be like a linked list can have a data one, and it also has a pointer. The pointer points to the next node, and our head always points to the first node. We know these basics. Now let's try to implement this in a Python program. So let's go to our PowerShell, go to D folder and make a directory, make there, and we can name the folder linked lists, and we can cd into linked list, and we can open it in our code editor, that is VS Code. So we have a directory open in our VS Code. Now let's try to make our linked list program. We can create a new file. This is not a folder. New file called, we can call it linked list.py. As we all know, to implement a new data structure, we need to use classes. So let's start by implementing a node. Let's create a node in Python. We created a class node. Then we have to make a constructor for it. Then we can start by making a constructor def init, and in a constructor we will take in one argument. That argument is our data. We will get a data and we will pass it to our node. So our node can have a value data, and it can also have another part called next. So inside our constructor function we can create self.data is equal to the data that we get from the user, and we can also have self.next, which can be set to none. At the beginning of while making a node, it is not set to anything, so the next will be automatically placed at none. So once we have our node class, we can start creating our linked list class. So we have created a linked list class. Next, we need to implement a constructor for our linked list. So we can imagine, what does a linked list start off with? We can think of it like a linked list starts off with a head, and the head that will points to none at the beginning, and after we add nodes to it, it will point to the first node. So let's start our constructor by creating self.head is equal to none. So at the beginning the head is set to none. Now we have created a linked list. We have created a class for linked list, and we can use it in our Python programs. Next, we need to make a function that will make us be able to add values into our linked list. So let me create a def append function. I can create add at end. Add at the end function, and it will take one argument, that is it will take two arguments because In every classes we need to pass in self as a first argument, and the next argument will be data. This data will be passed on to us by the user. So to add a value to a linked list, we must first create a node. So we can create a new node. A new node will be node. Like I'm going to use this constructor here. So node, and I'll pass in the data. Okay, now let us think. Let's rub these things off. I have a head and one node that takes the value 1 and it points to nothing. This is what I have right now. I have created a new node and the linked list has also created a head. So to add it to the beginning, what should I do? I should make our head point to it, right? I should make our head point to it. This is only true if we have nothing in our list. That is, if our head points to nothing, if our head points to nothing, we can just make it point to our element, our node, and it will be done. The value will be added to the beginning of our list. But if our head is already pointing to another node, let's say this node has the value 2 in it. What do? We must first take the value of 2. We must first make it point like this and make this point like this. Okay, I'll explain one more. We must make our head point to us. We are going to the new node. This new node is going to be the first element, and our new node dot next is pointing to nothing right now. So I have to point it back to the second node. That is, I have to change this into a pointer to this. So this is how we will add values at the beginning of our list. So let's just try it. So if we have created a new node, and we'll say if, we don't need an if statement. We can just say that self dot head is equal to new node, and new node dot next is equal to self dot head dot next. Self dot head dot next means, okay, I think I messed up a little bit. 1 second. Okay guys, I found out where I messed up. We have to actually say new node dot next is equal to self dot head first. We need to do that first, because if we directly change the value of the head, we will forget what the second node is. It won't be stored anywhere and it will be lost. So first we have to create new node dot next is equal to self dot head, and we can set self dot head is equal to the new node. So we've learned how to add at the end. It is not at the end, it is at the beginning. Sorry, a little confusion there. So we know how to add a value at the beginning of our list. So let's make a function to print all these values in our list. This is called traversal. Print vals. We can say that print vals as a function. It will take in self, and we need to print everything in our list. So first we need, if we have a list, I can see that. let me just erase all this. We can think of traversal right now. We have a head, we have one node, we have another node, we have another node, we have one more node. They are all connected with each other, and the last one points to nothing. So this is our linked list. To traverse through it means to travel through each and every node. First, we need a variable that can be called as current. You can say it as current. Okay, this is current. At the at the starting, the current node starts as the head, and the head will point it to the first node. And after that, our current will move to the second node. So this is our current. Okay, let me just clear this. We have current. At the beginning, the current will point to the head, so it will be the first node. Next, after printing the value, it will move to the second. After printing the value here, it will move to the third. After printing the value here, it will move to the fourth. And after this, none, it will exit the loop. So we know that we will need to use a loop for it. So let us try. And also, if the list is empty, we can directly say that the list is empty and not print anything. So we can say that if self dot head is none. If self dot head is none, we can say that when the linked list is already empty. Else we can do our normal print function. Our normal print function will start with a current variable, and it will start at, where did I say? It will start at head, self dot head. The current will start at self dot head. Next, we'll create a while loop. While current. While current means while current is node none. That means when the current variable reaches a none value, it will exit the loop. We can write a print statement. We can create a printf actually. Print statement. And in the print statement, we can create an f string. In the f string, we can say current dot data, and we can make use of an arrow like this. And after printing the value, so now the current value will be printed along with an arrow like this. And after printing that, we need to increment our current value. The current is equal to current dot next. So current is incremented, and after that, after exiting the while loop, after exiting the while loop, I'ma just make a print nothing. It is just to make a new line after printing everything. I just like to make it look a little bit better. So we have implemented how to add values at the beginning and also how to print the values of a linked list. So let's try. I'm going to make a linked list called link. I can make it as LL. LL is our linked list. We can initialize it like this. So our linked list is created. Let's try to use its function, print vals, and let's run our program. Okay, I didn't specify this. So the linked list is already empty. So I've initialized a linked list. So by initializing, it is just self dot head is equal to none, and there is no values here. So after this, let's try to add some values to our linked list. ll dot add at beginning, we can pass it a value 56, and now let's print the values and let us run. So first time when we print it, we'll say the linked list is empty, and after adding the value at the beginning, the linked list gets that value. Let me just comment that out. Let's add more values. 45. Let's add more values. 34. And let's try to run it. Okay, let me change. There is a slight problem here. Okay, there's a slight problem. I will just check it quick and come back to you guys. Found out where the error was. The error was here. After print statements in Python, there always comes a new line character. So we don't need that new line character, so we can say end is equal to nothing actually. So we can run it, so it will come like a proper string. So we have learned the basic adding a value to a link, implementing a linked list in Python, and adding a value to a linked list and traversing through it and printing the values inside a linked list.